Close your eyes for a second. You're standing in East Africa 3 million years ago. The ground under your feet is cracking. Yesterday this was a forest, today it's grassland. Tomorrow, maybe a desert.
That sounds terrible.
It was, and this is where humans were born. Now here's the big question. China was there, India was there, Europe was there. Why did humans only come from Africa?
Maybe just luck.
Not luck, not even close. The answer hides in 3 million years of chaos. So, about 15 million years ago, East Africa started cracking. The ground was splitting apart. It's called the East African Rift.
Rift? What does that mean?
A rift is a huge crack. The earth was tearing itself open. Mountains pushed up and blocked the rain clouds. West side, still green, thick jungle.
And the east?
But the east side dried out, forests disappeared.
So one side got rain and the other didn't.
Pretty much. But here's the thing, it didn't change just once. Every 20,000 years, every 100,000 years, the climate flipped. Jungle, then grassland, then desert, then jungle again.
Non-stop.
Europe got a little colder, Asia moved some ice around. But Africa, the whole world flipped inside out, again and again. Now, 2.8 million years ago, Ethiopia. Scientists found something small but huge, a jawbone fossil.
Fossil. That's like an old bone from long ago, right?
Right. Whatever's left of something that lived ages ago. And this fossil, the oldest one from our human family, our direct ancestors.
What made it different?
Small teeth, narrow jaw.
Bigger teeth should be better, right?
If you're chewing roots and bark, sure. But these guys started eating something new, meat.
They hunted?
Not yet. They found dead animals and cracked the bones open. That tiny jawbone, it was the start of everything. So to eat the good stuff inside bones, you need to break them. And that's where tools come in. In Kenya, they found stone tools from 2.75 million years ago.
275 million years.
Hit one rock with another, make a sharp edge.
Wait, that's it? Just hitting rocks together?
Hey, don't make fun of our ancestors.
She has a point, though. Sounds simple. But chimps use rocks, too. They just can't shape them. Early humans made a tool to make another tool.
A tool to make another tool.
And aside those bones, something called marrow. The soft, fatty stuff deep inside bones, packed with energy.
So marrow was the real prize.
That marrow was the fuel that started our whole journey. Now here's something amazing. One site in Kenya was used for 300,000 years.
300,000 years? In one place?
From 2.75 million to 2.4 million years ago. And during that time, the land completely changed. Started as a green floodplain, ended as dry desert.
So the animals left?
Most did. They moved or they died. But early humans, they stayed. Forest meant fruit. Grassland meant cracking bones from marrow.
Adaptation? That's changing yourself to fit a new situation?
Exactly, and that adaptation was humanity's greatest weapon. They didn't run from it, they changed. But our ancestors weren't alone in Africa. Paranthropus had a giant jaw, expert at chewing tough roots. Australopithecus, expert tree climbers.
So each species had its own special skill?
Right, but when the grassland turned to desert. No roots for Paranthropus, no trees for Australopithecus.
They died.
Every single one.
Extinct. Is that different from endangered?
Endangered means almost gone, extinct means gone forever, no way back. Only Homo survived, not the best at anything, but good enough at everything.
The all-rounder won.
But when the all-rounder left Africa, something strange happened. We'll get to that. So, 1.8 million years ago, a new species, Homo erectus. Tall, long legs, bigger brain. First humans to leave Africa.
Where did they go?
East, all the way to Java Island in Indonesia. And the Java group survived for 1.4 million years.
So they did even better than the ones in Africa?
You'd think so, but their fossils tell a different story. Early fossils and late fossils, almost identical. Same tools, same brain size, 1.4 million years of nothing. And the place they loved most became their biggest trap. Southeast Asia, a place called Sundaland. Warm all year, rain every day, food everywhere.
Sounds like paradise.
It was, and that was the problem. When everything is easy, there's no reason to change. No pressure, no push, no evolution.
So comfort actually killed them?
Slowly, scientists call it stagnation.
Stagnation.
When things just stop, no progress, nothing moves forward. 1.4 million years of stagnation, and then extinct. But back in Africa, the chaos never stopped.
It never let up.
The ones who stayed kept getting pushed, kept evolving. Paradise wasn't a gift, it was a trap. Now, about 1 million years ago, South Africa. A place called Wonderwork Cave, scientists found old ash. Evidence of a controlled fire 1 million years old.
So they started cooking?
Finally, barbecue time.
Not yet. Between fire control and cooking, hundreds of thousands of years.
Then what did they use fire for?
Imagine this, you just found a dead elephant, tons of meat. But in 3 days, it's all rotten.
You can't eat all of it.
Right, so you smoke it. Fire keeps the meat good for weeks. And at night, fire keeps the predators away. So fire was for staying alive, not for cooking. Fire was a bodyguard long before it was a chef. About 275,000 years ago, real cooking finally began.
How do we know that?
Scientists tested mice, raw food versus cooked food. The mice eating cooked food, their genes actually changed. And those exact same genes found in humans too.
Cooking changed our genes?
Yes, and here's why that matters so much. Raw food is hard to digest. Chimps chew 6 hours a day. Just to get enough energy, cooked food, way more calories. Now, our brain uses 20% of all our energy. A chimp's brain, only 8%.
2.5 times more.
Without cooking, we could never feed a brain this big. Cooking wasn't just culture, it was the fuel that built the human brain. So our brains grew, but there's one more piece to this story. Scientists studied DNA from West African people, and they found something strange, traces of a ghost.
A ghost?
Not a real ghost, a ghost population. An ancient species, no fossils anywhere, only their DNA is left.
Like Neanderthals? We mixed with them too, right?
Similar idea. When two species have children, that's interbreeding. Their genes mix, and that happened in Africa too.
With who?
Nobody knows. Maybe Homo erectus, maybe a species with no name.
We don't even know who they were?
No, but their DNA is still inside us, invisible ancestors. And then, about 350,000 years ago, Homo sapiens appeared.
Where did we come from?
Here's the surprise, not one place, all across Africa. Morocco, Ethiopia, South Africa, everywhere.
Wait, so there's no single birthplace?
No, scientists call it the Pan-African origin model. Groups spread across the continent. Climate changed, some got cut off, isolated. Then climate changed again. They met, mixed genes. Over and over, hundreds of thousands of years.
So that's why Africa has the most genetic diversity.
Diversity, lots of different types.
Exactly. Variety. And that diversity, our greatest strength. And then, about 70,000 years ago, it happened. Homo sapiens walked out of Africa.
Finally.
But this wasn't running away, this was graduation. 3 million years of preparation packed into one species. The adaptation from a million climate changes. The tools, the fire, the cooking, the diversity from interbreeding across a whole continent. All of it ready for the unknown. Africa didn't just create humans, Africa trained us for 3 million years.
That's kind of beautiful.
It wasn't luck. It was the longest training in history. So, let's step back. A rift in the earth, a climate gone wild. A small jawbone, a cracked stone, a spark of fire. That's how we started.
From almost nothing.
The ones who found comfort stopped changing. The ones who stayed in the chaos, they became us.
Comfort stops you. Struggle moves you forward.
3 million years ago or today, same truth. If you're going through a hard time right now, maybe that's not the end. Maybe that's where the next step begins.
Being uncomfortable, is that actually the point?
It always has been. Next time, a story that changes everything you thought you knew, don't miss it. Chaos, tools, or cooking, which one shaped us most? Tell me in the comments.